Hey there, this is Jason from Yerba Crew, and today I'm going to give you a quick glimpse into my yerba mate routine. Everyone has their own routine. Mine I like to keep quick and simple in the morning, just waking up, just boom, 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 go. So what I'm going to use today is my Yerba Crew yerba mate. So it's from Corrientes, Argentina. I'm going to use my wooden mate gourd. If you don't have a wooden mate gourd, you can use stainless steel, calabash, ceramic. If you don't have any type of actual gourd, you can also use like a teacup, coffee cup, etc. I will use my bombilla, which is basically a metal straw that has a strainer built right into the bottom of it. This is key for drinking yerba mate the traditional way. And then I just have a thermos filled up with hot water. You should aim for between like 155 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit. For me, my preference is 155 because my electric kettle, I can set it exactly to 155. So that's what I go for. So first step is going to take the bombilla out. I'm going to fill up my mate gourd with the yerba mate. So fill it up about 2/3 of the way with the yerba. This isn't like a green tea or other types of tea where you fill it up with a tiny bit. You want to have a large amount in there. So you're filling it up about that much with the yerba. It's basically inverse of what you would do with green tea, where you have maybe 2/3 water, 1/3 tea leaves. For yerba mate, it's opposite way. You're going 2/3 tea leaves, 1/3 space for the water. So we have our leaves in there. What we want to do now is take our palm, cover the top of the gourd, turn it over, and give it a shake. Cool. Now flip it back. Show your hand. Give a little circle on there. And that's basically what we did was we brought the smaller particles of yerba mate up towards the top of the gourd. And so this helps when we're placing the actual bombilla straw into the gourd in a little bit. So I'm going to shake this off. That also means that you're part of the yerba mate family now. You have your official circle. Good to go. So now I have my yerba mate in here, and what I naturally did is I shook it to the side to create like a mountain. So you have an angle of yerba mate in there. Next step is I will take some room temperature water. This is kind of a bonus. Even if I use cold water, I just pour it right out of the fridge in the morning. You only do this once. So pour around 2 ounces into that bottom part of that mountain. I spilled some on the table. I'm gonna wipe that. And then what you can do is you can sit it and let it sit kind of at an angle by placing part of it on the bombilla or on like a coaster, anything like that. And you just let it set. So what that's doing again is like prepping the yerba mate so that when you put the bombilla in, your mountain is a little bit more set because that water is in there, it's being absorbed into the yerba, and any of the little dust particles are all connecting to each other, congealing, coagulating in there. I always forget the term, so I always say coagulating. I'm sure there's a better one. So you leave that, I do it 30 seconds. You can leave it for 2 minutes if you want. If you're doing a Uruguayan type of cut, you need to leave it longer. But for me, 30 seconds, good to go. And now, take the bombilla and take it this way. So take the strainer, slide it along the wall, the inside wall of the gourd of the lower part of the mountain. And I like wiggle it a little bit to get it down to that bottom. Okay, so now it's straight in there, and then you wiggle it a little bit more so that now it's more of a 45-degree angle. So that bottom strainer, so the straw is going through like this, and that bottom strainer is right in the center bottom there. So now we're ready to go. So I have my bombilla, my gourd. I turn it towards me when I'm pouring it, but let me see. When I'm showing you, I'm going to take that hot water, I'm going to pour it on the bombilla side of the yerba. And so I'm pouring about 2 ounces of water in there. And if you had a grid line here, I'm basically trying to aim to pour it in from this half over. over top of the bombilla, because I'm saving the rest of the yerba that's at the top of the mountain for later. So I poured that in. I'm going to take a sip. Tasty, tasty, good. Once you hear this, that means you're done with that that little cycle of water in the yerba mate. And the first one is always quick because that you have dry yerba in there, you're pouring the first amount of water in, it's sucking up all that water right away. So what you're pulling out is whatever hasn't been absorbed from the yerba yet. You maybe wait 30 seconds or a minute more, do another 2 ounces. So this kind of starts to reel pours. So what I'm doing is with that 2 ounces of water, I'm pouring it on this side where the bombilla is. I'm also making sure, like the guideline is, you don't want the water to cover all the yerba. You don't want it to become like a yerba mate soup, because what it's doing is if you cover all the yerba with water, it's sucking all the yerba flavor out at once, and so you won't be able to drink it as long. So what happens is this full thermos of hot water and this one gourd filled with yerba mate should last you maybe 2 hours if you're drinking by yourself. You may start out pouring it every couple minutes, and then all of a sudden the good energy kicks in and you're just doing what you're doing. You don't even notice that 20 minutes have gone by since you've last had your sips. So for me, I drink it for about 2 hours in the morning, and it's excellent. You'll get the hang of it. You're going to mess up. You'll probably get leaves sucked up through the straw the first couple times you do it, but you'll learn. We'll have more videos. Please let me know any questions you have. Otherwise, enjoy your yerba mate.